welcome you. We're diving into some fascinating material you sent over.
Absolutely. It's all about being really mindful of our speech, isn't it?
Exactly. Specifically, avoiding what the sources call lungthit.
Which is essentially divisive speech,
Right.
not tearing people down.
Right. Not using words to harm reputations or cause splits between people.
And our mission today isn't just like the definition.
No, we want to explore the consequences the sources talk about. They're pretty surprising.
Yeah, profound consequences, especially the benefits of not doing it.
The sources suggest these tangible benefits almost, inherent qualities.
That's what grabbed me, these undestroyable blessings they mentioned.
5 of them, apparently. As if this practice actually changes who you are.
It seems so, like it becomes part of your very makeup.
Okay, so let's jump right into these 5 undestroyable blessings. What are they?
Well, the first one is quite something, an undestroyable body.
Meaning, like invincible, no one can harm you.
That's the idea presented. Second, undestroyable supportive relationships.
Okay, so connections that just hold, no matter what.
Exactly. Third is undestroyable faith.
A kind of deep conviction, aligned with your true nature.
Then fourth, undestroyable dharma practice.
So your spiritual path, your efforts, they become really solid.
Yeah, stable, firm cultivation, as the source puts it.
And the 5th.
Undestroyable good teachers. Because you yourself aren't deceptive.
Wow, that's quite a list of outcomes.
It really is, and all stemming from just watching what you say.
Apparently. The source frames it very clearly as cause and effect.
Right, the nun and the qua. The cause, not harming with words.
Leads directly to the effect, the qua, these blessings.
That principle seems to be the foundation here.
Okay, let's unpack that first one. The undestroyable body. That sounds, well, extraordinary.
It does. Almost supernatural, doesn't it?
Yeah. And the source mentions something about science.
It hints at it. Vaguely mentions scientific experiments.
Really? Experiments that found people like this.
Supposedly, yeah. People who, by avoiding this kind of speech, were somehow resistant to harm.
Even viruses.
That's what it suggests. It uses this analogy.
Okay.
Like, if you don't engage in Lewington, your body is just less susceptible. Harmful things, maybe like viruses introduced, just don't take hold.
Huh. That's a fascinating, if hard to prove, idea.
It is, and it even implies that if you get sick a lot, maybe it points back to past negative speech habits.
Wow. So our words could have that direct physical impact.
According to this source, yes. It definitely makes you think about the mind-body connection differently.
It really does. Pushes the boundaries. Okay, what about the next one? Relationships.
Right. Undestroyable supportive relationships.
And the example given was Queen Elizabeth of England.
Yes, focusing on the incredible loyalty she inspired.
Loyalty to the point where someone really high up.
Apparently, yes. Someone of high status was supposedly willing to give it all up.
Just to serve and protect her, out of genuine respect.
That's the picture painted. Sincere loyalty for her whole life.
What was the key to that, according to the source?
Consistent, respectful treatment, not just in public, but crucially in private, too.
So it wasn't about big dramatic things.
No, more the cumulative effect, how she spoke about people, treated them day to day, avoiding negativity, avoiding division.
That makes sense. Consistency builds trust.
And the source even contrasts her with Empress Wuxi,
Oh, how so?
implying Elizabeth faced even less opposition, potentially because of this consistent positive communication style.
Interesting comparison. It suggests a real power in that consistency. So if respect builds external bonds, how does avoiding negative talk build undestroyable faith internally?
That's the third blessing. It's described as this natural resistance.
Resistance to what?
To negative influences. Things like greed, anger, delusion, arrogance, doubt.
So those things try to pull you in, but they just can't.
Exactly. You develop this inherent quality where you're just not susceptible. You don't resonate with them.
Like incompatible software.
That's a great way to put it. The source uses a similar idea. You're not the same type as those negative forces.
Okay. And is there a way to, like, boost this?
Yes. There's a pro tip, apparently.
Ooh, do tell.
Actively seek out the good in others. Praise their virtues, their merits.
Instead of finding fault.
Right. You're actively perfecting their image in your mind and through your words, not harming it.
And that changes you internally.
Profoundly, it suggests. It transforms your inner material.
From what to what?
Like changing easily stained white cotton into unblemishable silver. Less susceptible to negativity.
Wow. So praising others actually makes us more resilient.
That's the core idea. Powerful stuff.
It really is.
Yeah.
Okay, next up. Undestroyable Dharma practice.
This is about steady progress on your path, whatever you're pursuing, especially spiritually.
How does avoiding divisive speech help with that?
It leads to becoming more self-directed, less easily influenced by external things.
Like not blown around by every opinion or trend, those winds from all directions.
Exactly. You gain this inner stability.
And that stability is key.
Absolutely essential, the source argues, for things like upholding precepts, for meditation, for developing deeper insights, or even spiritual powers.
Because you're not constantly getting knocked off course.
Precisely. You can actually see things through. You stay focused.
The source mentioned Elon Musk here.
Yeah, interestingly, it suggested he grasped maybe a little bit of this principle.
And achieved a lot.
Right. Implying that if we fully embrace it, the potential is even greater.
It reframes success, doesn't it? Linking it back to speech.
It does. And there's a strong statement from the teacher in the source.
What's that?
Calling people who engage in self-harming speech, which includes divisive speech, foolish and ignorant, from a Buddhist perspective.
Ouch. So it's not just bad for others, it's fundamentally undermining yourself.
That's the clear message. It sabotages your own progress.
Okay, that leads us to the fifth blessing. Undestroyable good teachers.
Yes, and the logic is quite direct here.
How so?
If you yourself are not deceptive, if your communication is honest and constructive,
You attract teachers who are the same.
exactly, you avoid being taken in by negative influences or false guides, like attracts, like in a spiritual sense.
And the flip side.
The source is quite blunt. It says those who do engage in lumtangtet will inevitably encounter negative influences.
So they won't find genuine guidance.
Apparently not. It creates a kind of spiritual obstacle, making you susceptible to deception.
What if someone struggles with this? With avoiding divisive speech?
The source suggests seeking help, specifically from bodhisattvas.
Like Manjusri,
Yeah.
Avalokiteshvara.
Yes, and Samantabhadra. But it stresses the need for sincere reliance, real effort.
It also mentioned past connections, like with Medicine Buddha.
Right, as an example, a past positive connection leading to blessings now, reinforcing that idea of karma and connections over time.
But it also said something quite remarkable.
Ah, yes, even without a specific past connection.
If you just consistently practice the 10 virtuous deeds, including this one,
Enlightened beings will essentially notice. They'll be drawn to help.
the source said they'd line up to assist.
That was the phrase used, yes. Your own virtuous actions create a powerful magnet, apparently.
So it's not just about past karma or non-kondien.
It acknowledges those factors play a role, definitely. Life is complex.
But the power of your present actions, especially speech, is highlighted as critical.
Very much so. It shapes the guidance you receive.
Okay, so we have these 5 blessings. Is there an ultimate outcome discussed?
Yes. The source links it all to the path of enlightenment.
Wow.
If you dedicate the merit gained from consistently avoiding loingthet
Dedicated towards what?
towards attaining perfect enlightenment, Buddhahood,
Then what happens?
you attain an undestroyable spiritual lineage as a Buddha.
Meaning your true students, your spiritual family.
Exactly. Genuine disciples who also aspire to that same goal. And that lineage becomes immune to disruption from negative forces.
Wow. And how hard is it to become part of that lineage? To be a disciple?
Here's another surprise from the source.
Okay.
It says it's too easy.
Too easy. Easier than not becoming one.
That's the claim. The initial connection, becoming a disciple, isn't the hard part.
So what is the hard part?
Staying committed.
Yeah.
Consistently maintaining that path.
Ah, the boat analogy.
Precisely. Getting on the boat to the other shore, enlightenment, is relatively easy.
But people jump off.
Yes. The source attributes it to insanity or delusion. Our own wavering minds, our lack of sustained effort, cause us to abandon the journey.
So the potential is there, but follow-through is everything.
That seems to be the core message. Commitment and consistent practice, like mindful speech, are key.
So putting it all together, it's a really powerful connection being drawn here.
Absolutely. Between something seemingly simple, like how we talk,
And these incredibly profound, undestroyable results, affecting our bodies, relationships.
our inner state, our spiritual progress, even the guidance we find, it's holistic.
It goes way beyond just being nice or avoiding gossip.
It reframes speech as a fundamental tool for shaping our entire reality, internal and external.
It really challenges you to think about the weight of your words.
Definitely. The power we hold in our communication may be more than we realize.
So for you, the listener, considering all this, maybe just reflect on it.
Yeah, what's one small shift you could make?
In how you communicate, that might ripple outwards
Could it create some kind of undestroyable change, even a small one, in your life?
Food for thought.
Hmm.
And as always, this deep dive is really just scratching the surface.
Hopefully it sparks some further exploration for everyone listening.